Wonderful day and welcome. My name is Seth and we are back with the second installment of the Weapon Beginner's Guide video series, and today we're gonna feature the dual blades. Do you want to be the enemy protagonist? Do you want to be Levi from the Survey Corps? Oh boy, then I have the right weapon for you. The dual blades in Monster Hunter Frontier are high risk, high reward weapons, which are easy to get into but hard to master. But if you master them, let me tell you, the satisfactory neurons in your brain you never thought were existing gonna tickle you so much you're gonna running dripping wet all day. The dual blades are another fast-paced combat option, but with more risk involved and needs some practice to get into. But it is a weapon that doesn't have any block, any parry, it only has dodges. But those on high mobility, and if you use them right, you get rewarded with high DPS and some fancy styled combat. So looking back at my SNS video, I thought I structured this the following. We're gonna go as soon as the video starts into the styles as first, like we're going into the styles with Earth, Heaven, Storm, Extreme, and then afterwards we're gonna talk about the active feature changes and the tech skills for each weapon instead of like top skills. I'm gonna explain what tech skills are in a second, but this way you will have like better context to whatever like unique features the weapon or mechanics the weapon has. These changes make like more sense instead of like telling you beforehand, and then you're like, what? Forgetting any, yeah, about it anyway, right? So obviously I'm gonna talk real quick about the SNS tech skill here before we start with the styles in this video, and then the next video we'll just do this format ongoing. So what are tech skills? Well, tech skills are pretty much some luxury compound skills, like skills with multiple skills inside of it, so you get multiple skills for one. And the tech skills for each weapon type are specially tailored for those weapon types, so you get a bunch of skills that are very beneficial for that weapon. And if you do make sets for specific weapons, then these skills are something you definitely want. Back in the days, you farmed these by getting the hidden armors upgraded and then turning the hidden armors into decorations and using these decorations in your set builds. They have a negative version and 3 positive ones, which one hidden one which needs very special unlock conditions, which are a pain to use, perhaps probably not worth it to get into, because to use these hidden versions you need to have all 4 hidden armor versions max upgraded, I think, in your inventory or like in your equipment box, and then you need to equip one of these, well, like any, doesn't matter which of the 4, but you are forced to use one to use this hidden transformation of it. It's not worth it at all anymore. Trust me, no one uses that. It just, you can just get sharpness in any other way, and it doesn't stack with other sharpness skills, of course, so yeah, it's not worth it. But we're gonna talk about the positive versions, of course, and that is the expert, master, and then on the highest level, every tech skill has a unique name for each weapon type, and for the SNS, that is the Sword Saint. So on the first version, the expert version on SNS, you get just simply enough the fencing skill when you use sword and shield weapons. On the master version, you're gonna get the fencing skill and 10% more damage with your SNS attacks. On the third version, you get super high grade earplugs. You get 30% more damage on SNS attack. You get all elemental sword skills on +3. You get all status sword skills on +2. You get bomb sword on +2. You get faster movement when you have your SNS unsheathed, and obviously you keep the fencing. Yeah, luxury meaty buffs for each weapon type is something you definitely want, because you get a lot of stuff just in one go to perfect your build pretty much. So you definitely want to like look out for those skills. But enough of SNS, we are here for the dual blades. For that I'm gonna go into the quest and see you then there. Right, inside the quest now, on one of my other favorite maps of this game, the Polar Sea, including some emotional supports from cute little seals, nothing can go wrong. So first, a TDLR for people who didn't watch the SNS video, of course, and are just interested in this. On screen you see an overlay which shows you the Xbox One controller and PS4 controller, and it's gonna mimic my input. So you're gonna see what I'm pressing, and it's mostly there for visualization because I'm gonna say obviously what I'm pressing too. But you can see what I'm pressing, when I'm pressing. Also for keyboard users, you do want just translated these. So if I press the triangle or Y button, then whatever that button is on keyboard input, just translate that and you can do the exact same things. For a lack of confusion, I will also refer to the Y and triangle button as the main attack button and the B and circle button as the side attack button. That is just to not say every time Y and triangle, B and circle on every move, just so I can say main attack, side attack. Boom. Easy as that, less confusion. The other buttons are usually more coherent with each other and don't need mention of extra names. Right, with that out of the way, we can start. And obviously, just like the SNS, it has a default pattern. Of course, we have the main attack combo, which is your bread and butter usual combo. You just have 3 times main attack button, bam, clear, straightforward combo attack. Then you have your side attack button, which triggers a spin attack. This is usually used for hitting slightly higher tails. It's not like giving you that much space into air, but you can hit something that is higher than yourself, at least like a head higher or more. You can influence the direction. Normally, it only goes always to the right side with the spin, but you can influence this with a directional input. Out of this, like doing this out of the stand is very tricky. I'm not sure if there's like some option that makes it easier with like the cameras and whatever, but on my setup here, it's just the default setup usually, and you just don't want to do it out of the stand because it moves your character and looks weird, and it's probably way easier doing it after an attack. So after an attack, I just do a main attack and then press the directional input with the side attack button, and I can just manipulate going to the left instead of the default one, which is usually always the right. Then we have the main and side attack button, of course. If you're pressing those two together, you will do a lunging strike. This is kind of like the same as the SNS. You just go forward as your little gap closer engage tool. But other than the SNS, you can't inbound it in your normal main attack combo. So if you do the normal main attack combo, you can't dynamically do the lunge attack. It just doesn't work. But what you can do is you can go from the lunge attack into the main combo. So if you want to combo these attacks together, make sure you want to do the lunge first and then the main attack. Then we have something you're probably very familiar with on other Monster Hunter, it's the demon mode. But before we go into the demon mode, we need to talk about a frontier mechanic, and that is the Clash Sharpen. It is one of the unique traits of the dual blades and the mechanic that gives you a high skill, high reward play. So if you press select now on your controller, you will do a little animation. Probably saw it before, maybe accidentally used it or saw it in some videos. This sharpens your weapon just a little bit. It's not really much, it's very like minor, it's not really significant sharpening, but it gives you a little bit of sharpness back every time you use it. Then you can see when I use the sharpen, my hands are glowing red. This is a very subtle effect, even though it's a very important indicator actually, but it can be overwritten with like certain skills which also make your hands glow, so it's not the best choice that did, because you don't have any like indicator at all, icon-wise or anything. This is the only time to see it. So it's something you're probably gonna ignore and just go with the feeling later on. But this buff indicates that you have a damage increase. Every time you do the Clash Sharpen, you get a 5% increase. This stacks up 4 times, so to a maximum of 20% damage, extra damage, but it has a combo timer. So this glowing hands are an indicator for the combo timer. It's like, I don't know, 5 seconds or something. But if this runs out, the buff is also gone. So you need to keep an eye on that. You probably just get a feeling for it, so don't worry about it. But this is where it gets tricky. You might be thinking, well, I don't want to like sit there and just like do this animation all day, right? I want to attack and not like doing this, because this combo timer only resets or like gets extended with the sharpening. So if you want to stay on the 20% constantly, you need to keep sharpening every now and then, like before the timer runs out, because every sharpen will reset it. So sharpening and then doing combo attacks will remove the glow regardless. As you can see here, the glow just got like removed anyway, but if you now reset the glow, then you can keep the buff going. So every time you use this before it runs out, it will get extended and not run out, obviously. It's pretty self-explanatory, I guess, now that I say it like this, but yeah. So what you want to do is you want to pretty much use it after nearly every attack to keep it up. But as I mentioned, you may be thinking, well, I don't want to stay there and do this every time and then attacking. That is where Frontier shenanigans come in, and you can use this sharpening inside of your combos. After nearly every attack, you can sharpen your weapon and like dynamically integrate them into your attacks. So if I now sharpen, then attack, I can sharpen, attack, sharpen, attack, sharpen. You can crazy amounts of like combination with this. It's mental. All right, it is just mental. So learning this and mastering this will benefit you a great deal, because you can keep up a huge boost of damage, and at the same time you can also keep your sharpness levels a bit intact with like certain sharpness skills. Obviously it will be super crazy, but mastering this technique is very essential for high skill played on dual blades. Very rewarding if you do it, but very tricky to get into it first. So the next thing is the old demon mode you probably know from other Monster Hunter games. The demon mode was always like the trait or like the special unique feature of the weapon, which is kind of like the same for SNS, where you use items while unsheathed your weapon. So this is like the thing for the dual blades, the demon mode. To activate the demon mode, you simply just press R1 and your weapons will glow red. After that animation happened and your weapons glow red, your stamina will constantly drain. After it drains out, it will reset and you will be out of demon mode. So if to keep this demon mode up, you obviously wanna have some sort of stamina reducing like skills or items which they give you like indefinitely stamina, like dash juice. That is like the full reason why they exist, and they're very helpful. But inside of this demon mode, you have two changes. First, the side attack button does now a double spin with only one input. It's the same as before, it just is an extension to a second one, and you can do it also, of course, the other direction as normally, but you have a double spin now. The other change is the launch attack. The main and side attack button version of the launch attack is gonna replace demon mode with the all well-known Demon Dance. This is a very fast and multi-hitting combo, and probably the main DPS tool for most dual blade users, or very well-known one. But it also locks you down in place, so you probably want to commit to this attack when you have a safe opening for it. Then we have another Frontier Shenanigan edition, and that is the addition of the True Demon Mode. This is the second stage of demon mode and can be accessed by simply holding the R1 button until you go into the second animation. In this animation now, or in this mode, you're gonna drain instant of your stamina, constantly your HP. When you activate the True Demon Mode, it's gonna drain your green HP all the way down to 1, and then it's gonna drain on the red bar. But if you like running low on the green bar, you can just go out of the mode, and then when you like having the red HP, but there's items that restore the entire red bar just like that. So you maybe want to use those, and then you can go back in action. Also, as you see here, my Hulk tries to heal me, but the true demon mode is actually disabling healing from other party members. So if you're in true demon mode, something like life powder or party like wide range items will not work on you. So if you want to get heal from party members, you need to get out of this mode, otherwise, well, you will get hit, and that will be pretty helpful. Then the second thing you notice is that there's an icon next to the sharpness. You maybe saw there's a circle, and it does nothing if you're in demon mode or just normally playing. But if you go into the true demon mode as shown here now, you're gonna see there's a flame icon on top of the circle, and the circle is slowly filling up. That is because this circle, when it fills up, will make the flames glow, and then you will get some 10% additional damage on your attacks. Like your motion values will get 10% increase, and you will have more damage. This only stays as long as you are in the demon mode. This fills up over time when you stay in it, and you can also accelerate it when you attack enemies while in the demon mode. So as more you attack, as faster it will fill up, and can probably influence by stuff like focus skills. If you go out of the demon mode, it will reset immediately. So you can only use this effectively when you're like being in combat in this demon mode without like getting hit or removing them more. Because if you get hit, for example, by a monster, it will get you out of demon mode, so you need to reactivate demon mode as soon as you get back up. Which is, that is why I'm saying this weapon is a very high skill rewarding weapon. If you master dodging on this thing and being like keeping all these buffs up, you will be crazy strong. Also, as long as you stay in the true demon mode, you will also get a 10% attack speed buff. So a 10% like faster attacking with your attacks overall, which is not really that noticeable, but you will see and feel it after a little bit of playing. And you can also not bounce off enemies' attacks, so you can use that. Then the next thing you saw there, if you're in true demon mode, your dodges will turn into attack dodges. So kind of like the extreme style spin attack from the SNS, where you can do a dodge that does damage at the same time. Well, welcome to true demon mode of the dual blades, because they have the same thing. If you press dodge after any like attack, then you have kind of like a sidestep which does damage at the same time. So just like SNS, you just do a dodge after an attack in any direction, forward, backward, left, right, and you can do this little dodge animation, which has obviously iframes and cost stamina, but on the other hand also does damage on the way back, which is very handy. And last but not least, the Demon Dance also has a new finisher move in the true demon version. So if you go into the second demon mode stage and then do the Demon Dance, you can press after the animation ends another time the main and side attack button to do a finisher follow-up. It obviously moves you a bit forward, so you need to be very careful with this move, because you can easily miss this depending on whatever position you're on. That is, however, everything I know about Earth style for dual blades, so you can use this knowledge to your advantage. Dual blades offers a lot already on just Earth style. So let's go over to Heaven style and see what's going on there, and I'm gonna see you in the next quest. Oh, and one thing I nearly forgot is that if you are in the demon mode, the normal tier 1 demon mode, you can actually normally disable it with the same button. So if you press R1 again while being in demon mode, you can just abort it. But what you can also do is, while being in demon mode, you can actually hold the button down and then switch immediately back into demon, like the true demon mode, the tier 2 version. So this is like a good way to switch between the two modes if you like running out of HP from the true demon mode and need to regen some HP. Well, then you go out, go into normal demon mode, which drains stamina, and do the attacks there. And then when your HP is back up, you can just like, bam, switch dynamically over into the second tier of Demon Mode and just go back into action. Alright, this will be a quick and dirty one, because Heaven style is literally the same as Earth style, but one change is happening, and that is the Demon Dance is replaced with a 3-hit or 4-hit combo instead of the full Demon Dance. This can be interrupted by other attacks, so you can just do this mid-combo before finishing that thing. You can just do another attack, so something really cool to keep in mind. Obviously on the true demon version this works way better, because you can do the dodge attacks and just like interrupt the animation, which is very fast. But this is all there is to Heaven style. This is the only addition. So to Storm style we go. Right, this will be quick and dirty too, because to Heaven style just one thing changed, and that is the lunging strike. When you're not in any demon mode, the main and sub attack button normally triggers the forward lunging strike, but instead now we have a little higher motion valued spinning attack. And other than the lunging strike, you can't go over into other combos from this and not from other combos into this. So yeah, it's really good for cutting tails or reaching like wings or something, body parts that are very higher, and way better than reaching it with the spin attack for sure. But other than that, it's exactly the same as it will be with Heaven style, so choose your poison and pick whatever you want. So now we can go over into Extreme style and see where the real meat begins, right? Alright, in Extreme style now we're gonna take a look at what changed. It is nearly the exact same as Storm style, but few things. First of all, the lunging strike is back. So you know how the main and side attack button move was replaced with this like little spinning thing jump from Storm style? Well, it's back now to the normal old default lunging strike. Also, you do still retain the the demon dance replacement with the 4-hit combo thing move instead of the demon dance. And everything else is exactly the same as before. We also have Extreme style. As a TDLR for everyone who didn't watch the SNS video, the Extreme style is a high mobility style that allows you to run or sprint with your weapon out. So if you have your weapon out unsheathed like this, you can actually start sprinting. This is very quick, and it's very nice to follow up monsters if they move away from you and you just want to keep being in the battle. It's also very fast, the movement. This movement does depend on your weapon, so if you have a lighter weapon like dual blades or SNS, you will move faster than someone with a lance or hammer. Also, it does cost stamina, as you can see here, it just drains stamina normally, so keep that in mind if you use that. But before we get into the sprinting attack, which you can do, let's see what else changed. So additionally to the replacement of the lunging strike being back, etc., we also have a third demon mode now. The third demon mode can be accessed exactly the same as before, and does the exact same as the true demon mode. It drains your health. So if you now go into the third stage of the demon, the extreme demon mode, then you can see that the health is actually draining at a faster rate. But the build up for the flame icon buff is also building up way faster. But you also get some other benefits. First of all, you have a new side attack. So if you do the side attack, you can do a very quick, very like fast hitting jumping slash attack, which is very dynamic and fast. I really love this one. Other than that, you retain everything else, with the exception that everything is way faster. So if you, for example, perfected the class sharpening from the other styles, well, throw it out of the window, because now you need to do it all again. The timings are way tighter, way faster because of the higher animation speed you have with your attacks, and you need to relearn the entirety of the timings. But it will be definitely worth it, because now you're way faster and it's crazy how much mobility you have. Also, the animations from the dodges changed slightly, and they're way faster too now. So you have exactly the same. You do like damage while dodging in any direction, but the animations are way quicker and can be chained way faster together. Extreme style gives you a very high mobility option and in increasing your animations and attacks very much. Of course, they have iframes because they are just dodges. So this is why I said dual blades are very high, combat learning weapons. But you also have one special sprinting attack on your extreme running. You can just the normal dodges. You can do a normal main attack, or you can do the side attack button, which triggers a very special spinning animation. It looks cool, it's totally anime, but it also can be finished up with a finisher move. So if you go to enemies now, these enemies are not the best to show it on, but you can just go on, attack them with this move, right? Just like that. A multi-hit attack, you need to wait for the animation. But if you hit a monster at any point during this animation, then you can press the side attack button again mid-air to do a follow-up finisher move to, finish it up, I guess. So if we do this again, bam, press the circle attack button, then we don't need to wait until the animation finishes. We followed it up with a finisher and get back down fast on the ground. So something to keep in mind. This is, however, technically everything to the extreme star already, and we can move on to the last section of the video. So I see you in the city. Alright, back in the city we have two things to talk about still, and then we are done so. The active feature buff and the tech skill. So for everyone who didn't watch the SNS video, the active features are certain buffs that activate per day. You can see them on the top left next to the breed night, like the season and daytime. And it tells you which one is active. The red icons mean this weapon active feature is active. It just gives you like a few buffs or changes some stuff up for whatever weapon, and it keeps for 24 hours. So if you're looking for optimizing some certain runs or something and want this like specific buffs for that weapon from the active feature, well, there you go. Keep an eye out for that. The active feature buff for dual blades, however, is that the HP that decreases in true demon mode or extreme demon mode is actually reduced. So the HP that drains while the active feature is on will be reduced in both modes. Also, additionally, in the normal demon mode, the stamina god will be reduced by half, the drain. So it's the same as when you would have marathon runner on, and if you combine it with the marathon skill, it do stack, and instead of half, you reduce it by 1/3 of the draining stage. So it will be way slower. Then we have the tech skill, of course, and on expert level, on the first positive version, you get fencing while using dual swords. On the second master version, you get fencing and 10% more attack with dual blades. And on the last version, you get super high grade earplugs, 20% more damage with dual swords. You keep the fencing. You recover 3 stamina each hit when you're in demon mode. So if you go into demon mode and attack a monster, you get every time 3 stamina back. So it's a very good way to keep up your stamina without using specific buffs or items if you don't have access to them. And the demon mode animations are also way faster activated. So you can go way faster in the animations and not being locked down to these animations that much. Also, one thing I nearly forgot to mention is that the Sigil change, or like the Sigil tech change in this case, is not really a move changing one. Like there's also other tech like Sigils which either like boost motion values, like make just a certain attack stronger, or changing stuff of course, but in case of dual blade there's no really changing thing. The only thing, the main Sigil for changing stuff is one that reduces the times you need to sharpen for the clash sharpen boost. So instead of 5%, you will get 10%, so you get like 2 sharpen in 1 on the first sharpening of clashing. So you can just sharpen once and then just like 2 more and bam, you're there instead of 4 times, which is handy, but not really, yeah, something I can show at all. So still something I should mention. Right, but this is everything we need to know about the dual blades, I guess. Maybe you know something else I don't know, perhaps. Let me know in the comments then, and I'm probably gonna see you in the next video. So thanks for being here. I love you all. You have a wonderful evening or day wherever you are, and I'm gonna see everyone on the next one. Bye bye.